Hi and welcome to this webinar. I am Olof Hagliden. I'm a UX solution architect at Elvenite, and together with me I have STåle Solheim, who is a manager at business support system at MPOW3R. We are going to talk about next generation planning application that we at Elvenite built for MPOW3R. So I just hand over it all to you, Ståle, so you can talk about the solution that we got at MPOW3R.
This session where we are going to have a closer look at the next generation planning applications that we use in MPOW3R. Elvenite has developed a framework they call MPOW3R that allows them to build applications that will make the job easier in M3 and allows you to combine information from many different sources within M3. And we have made use of this framework to develop a few applications in MPOW3R. So we're going to have a closer look at that, but first some key figures about MPOW3R, who we are and what we do. We harvest about 375,000 tons of salmon annually. We have customers in 70 countries worldwide. We are represented in 25 countries, and we have a total revenue of 3.8 billion euros. We employ more than 14,500 people, and that allows us to produce 6.4 million salmon meals every day. We don't only grow fish, we also control the whole process from egg to plate. So we believe that when we are present in all these steps, we can control the product and deliver a high quality product to our end customers. So this is very important for us, and we are working hard every day to deliver the best possible product we can. And lately we have also launched our own MPOW3R brand in certain markets. Okay, more into the application part. That is the most interesting thing, perhaps. But first, we need to understand the challenge we were trying to solve. And that is, in our industry, the supply of raw material, which is basically live fish, is not an exact science, and it's a push from the sea. When the fish is big enough, we need to harvest because there are restrictions on how much biomass we are allowed to have in the sea at any given time. So we keep the fish in these pens in the sea, and there is around 200,000 salmon in each and every one of these. And we do planning to make sure we harvest the best possible way. And when that happens, you have a harvest plan that tells you which farm and which pen should be harvested on that particular day and where that fish should be delivered for processing. So the wellboat comes and picks up the fish, and the fish that is being extracted from this pen on one day is assigned one lot number, and if the same pen is harvested 2 weeks later, that's a different lot number. So the harvest ID or the lot number is unique for each pen and each day. So what we do is that we take the predicted harvest or the harvest plan, and we put that into M3 to reflect the supply of fish that we will have. And of course we have a long-term plan and short-term plan. And the short-term plan is what we are going to look more closely into. Each of these harvests are then created as POs in M3 to reflect the supply of fish. So then we go to M3 and have a look at that. Standard PO, items for different sizes and different qualities of fish. And this is then one harvest. And here you can see that on the 3 to 4 kilo, we estimate, or the prognosis say that we will have 80,000 kilos of this fish. But we don't sell the fish in kilos, we sell them in boxes as catch weight items. So the price is per kilo, but the customers are still ordering number of boxes for a certain size of fish. And this is then where the challenge comes in. You have the forecast, you know what you plan to receive, and then we sell based on that. And that brings us to the next screen, which is the operational planning. And this shows you on the bottom here, it shows you the customer orders, and on top it shows you the planned harvest or the purchase orders. So what this screen does is that it allows you to filter on facilities and packing stations for certain packing dates. So now we are looking at the Norwegian packing stations for the 5th of May in the test system. So the numbers can be a little bit strange, but it should be of no importance for what the application does. So here we can see that we have 4 packing stations expecting harvests on this particular day. We can drill down here and we can see details. So this packing station will receive from 1 harvest, so 1 pen. The next one here, you can see this will receive 2 harvests, and you can see more details on the harvest here, how many tons, how many thousand fish, and the average weight here, and that will result into 4,200 boxes for this one on superior fish. We plan for superior and ordinary, so when you look at the columns over here, you see the different sizes of fish. So SO means superior and ordinary, so the first figure is the superior quantity in boxes, and the second figure is the quantity of ordinary fish. But the numbers we see on this side is not the total numbers. Just closing that one again. This is what is remaining after we have delivered the customer orders. So the customer orders down here are of course with numbers of boxes for the different sizes of fish. And when they plan these customer orders to be produced at certain packing stations like B21 for this one, then that will go in and reduce the number of available boxes. So these 243 boxes of 3 to 4s are taken away from the figure up here. Okay, so there's a lot of calculation going on in the background here, turning the total volumes here into number of boxes using the standard weight of the boxes to calculate that. And you can also see some total figures at the beginning, so you see what it's all about in terms of total volume. And of course, these figures are estimates and they may change. So during the day, if they've been producing for a couple of hours, it's quite normal to do an update on what they have actually processed so far to improve the estimates for the rest of the day, and that may change the figures slightly. So the planning department is keeping an eye on this and trying to make the best of it. Since the size is varying, then it's not always easy to know if you actually get the number of boxes that you have sold, and then we need to be flexible and we need to change the quantities on the order. And for this we need a lot of information available. So on the customer orders here, you can see who the customer is, which is of course important. Some customers get priority over others in some cases. And you can also, on the right-hand side, see if the order is flexible or not. So this indicates that this is fully flexible, which means that if they don't get 3 to 4s, they can have 4 to 5s, for instance. So that allows us for some flexibility to reduce this number if a lot of other customer orders will need the same product. Then we can give these less of 3 to 4s and more 4 to 5s and so on. So that's information that's very useful. This one is partly flexible, and those who are not having any signs are not flexible, so they can't be changed, or we try not to do that. Furthermore, we have information about eligibility. Some of the customers will have requirements that maybe they will only have fish from certain areas. Maybe they only want fish from the north. So we can put that into a matrix in the background. And if you assign packing station B41 to this customer, and that is not a good mix, then you will get the warning here. So the green here, that shows that this fish is okay for this customer. So what the planning department then does is they try to match and make sure we have the best possible split between the different factories, and they assign the customer orders for where they are going to be produced. And they also do priorities on the left to indicate who should be produced first. That could be because of delivery in Asia and other things that will require this order to finish early in the day so that it can reach the transport that it needs to catch in order to catch the flight that it's booked for, and so on. So there's a lot of things to consider, and here you have all the information you need in one screen. If they want more details on the harvest, they can also get that from this page. Here you get information about what kind of quality certificates the fish have, how long it's been starving, and so on. And this is, of course, devil in the presentation details. I'll try that again. Okay, here we go. So here we see which farm it's coming from, name of the farm, and then you can see that this is the MPOW3R. So this is okay to sell as the MPOW brand, and these are other certificates that the product may have. So that can be important information, but it's not always used. Okay, so there's a lot of information, and it takes some time to sort of get into the application, but it's really providing a lot of information in one screen, allowing the planning department to do their job. You can reach out, or you can use the hyperlink to get straight into the order in case you want to do something in the order, change things. Some of these orders also need distribution orders. You will see here that if you plan this one to be processed at this factory, but still delivered from the distribution center at Gardermoen, then we need a distribution order from B21 to C10. So that can also be created in this screen. And then when you change the line, it will light up and it will be yellow, indicating that you have made a change. And the button up here says that you can now update one order. But you can change more orders if you want to. I can assign this one to a packing station. So then this lights up as yellow. And now I have 2 orders to update. And you can work like this and keep on working until you're finished, and then update everything in one operation. You can also sort this if you want to sort by customer, if you want to sort by size to see which orders require this size of fish. So it's really powerful, and everything is online and up to date at any given point in time. So it's really been an important and vital tool for us to use. You can also export this to Excel if you should have the need for that. Okay, so this is the high level planning. It's one of the first applications that we built, and we have improved it over the years. So this is one of the applications that we've had for a long time. Currently, it's using some background tables that are modified, but when we move into the multi-tenant, we will provide all the data here using the application only, and then maybe use QGEX fields for storing information that we need outside of the orders. But we strongly believe that we can do this without modifications. So that will be really important when we go to the multi-tenant. So this is the planning side on the total schedule. So if you move down to the factories, you have a similar view where each factory is planning their own production on that particular day. So now we're looking at Herøy, which then reduces it to only 2 harvests coming in, because now we only focus on 1 packing station, and they have the same production sequence as we had in the previous screen, and they can monitor their production during the day. They also get information about what is the status of the MES system. So if this has been downloaded, if production has started, status of the order. So it really allows them to keep track of the current status throughout the day. A little bit simpler screen, but much of the same data. And here they are not so focused on availability. This is more what they are going to be producing that day. Okay, yeah, that was the planning application. Then we have also made another application, and to present that, I need to go back here. We have plans to use automated trucks for one of our factories, and to make the automated trucks pick up the pallets and place them in the right loading zone, we needed some application to control the signals for these AGVs. Normally you could do that using a VMS system, but we didn't have a VMS system and we didn't want to buy it. And Excel spreadsheets was not suitable. So then we thought we could do this in M3 using QGEX tables and the MPOW framework, and using that as information that we send to the robots. So what we see here is a layout of the factory where you have the palletizing machine, where the AGVs are picking up the pallets, and these are the 7 loading zones where you stack the pallets ready to be shipped out in the trucks that dock on this side of the outbound area. So what we did here, we used to have this screen where you copy paste information from M3 and fill in everything manually. And of course, Excel is easy to work with, but it's a single user thing, so it's not possible to share. And here we moved on to using the application instead. And that is the loading list. So here you specify the date that you want to look at and the packing station. This is for now only valid for one of the factories, but we have plans to roll this out to more units. And currently, because of the coronavirus, the AGVs are not running. But this is what it looks like. So all the data on the left-hand side here is retrieved from M3. It's data that we already know. We know the customer order, we know the delivery number, the DO number and the status and the customer name and so on. We know the number of pallets that has been aggregated, and yeah, basically retrieve all the information that we can, so we don't have to type it. Then we can adjust the number of pallets if we need to do that. And then we can, this is the important part for the AGVs, we can plan what zone the products should be moved to when they are picked up from the palleting machine. So here they can stack and prepare the shipments of the trucks by assigning these orders to the zone. And there is a number of pallets that is possible to get into every zone. So they need to keep an eye on how many pallets they assign to the loading zones. And then they also link this to the shipment number in the transport management system. And they move on and put in the carrier and the reg number for the trailer picking up the goods. And also the trucks are sealed so that they can enter the seal number here. So when this is finished, they have all the information in this sheet, and it's a really nice way to deal with data. And on top of that, it also allows us to control where the AGVs are placing the products. This application is slightly more advanced than the others, or it's a bit more up to date in terms of capabilities. So here you can see that you can sort, or you can also filter on the columns. So I can filter on certain customers and only focus on those. Maybe they should go to the same stock zone because they will be picked up by the same truck typically. So it's really allowing you to work with data here and get the best efficiency out of the job. And once you're done, you just save the work you have done. And if you have to change, of course, you can do that as well. But then you need to, of course, take care of the trucks that are rolling over there. You also have sorting options, filtering options, and you can export this to Excel and send it to someone for information if they need that. So yeah, this is it's not been put into production yet, but the testing that they've done has been very well received by the end users. So they really like this. Also here you have hyperlinks that you can drill down and go to the CEOs or the DOs if you need any more information. Okay, that is I think all I had to say about the planning applications that we use.
Okay, thank you so much, STåle, for that nice presentation of the future next generation planning application that we have built on for movie. Now I got the opportunity here by STåle to talk a little bit of what MPOWR can do and how it can be done. My name is Olof Hagliden. I'm a product owner for MPOWR and a solution architect around UX solutions. MPOWR are mainly two areas. We have the first area where we develop the applications, and we have the second area where we have the finished product. And what MPOWR does is simplify the journey. It simplifies the development, so it's actually easier and simpler to develop a solution. And when you have the end product, we have built the solution so it simplifies the workflows for the users. So you can see the nice picture. Getting from point A to B is not always a straight line, but MPOW has the possibility to make that journey pretty straightforward. MPOW have unlimited customization possibilities. You can actually get what you want when you want. We are not bound to any toolbox that says you need to have this component, or you need to have this appearance or this functions. MPOW can be built however you want. So that get the possibility to have an interface specific customized for the task that the user has. And it always also get the possibility to create the solution that are customized especially for the needs that your company and the user have. Combining whatever M3 programs you want in one screen is actually not a new feature. It has been possible for many years to do so. For an example, mashups and other solution that we have had earlier. So this is actually a standard feature in MPOW. I don't see it even possible to create a good application without combining all kind of information from M3 in the one and same screen. A new feature in solutions like this are the possibility to integrate whatever external system you want in the application in the same screen. If you have a logistics system or a warehouse system, you might have information that are important and you need to work with it at the same time as you're working in M3. Well, with MPOW, it's no problem integrating this information directly into the finished application. And if the external program, external system, have APIs that support update and create and etc., you can also work with the information from both M3 and the external systems at the same time. You can change it, update, and so on. MPOW creates applications that are future-proof, and we are all talking about that solutions must be cloud ready and it needs to work in the future, because we are investing big money in solutions and we can't just redo the solutions all the time. Well, MPOW are built with the latest programming language, and we have also built MPOW around the Infor SDK. So if Infor are doing changes with their programming or updates, MPOW is simply follow. By using the Infor SDK, we have managed to create the solution that runs inside Infor OS. So when using an MPOW solution, it will look like an M3 or Infor program. MPOW will also work in older versions of M3. You can create an application for a Smart Office version or even a MoveX version. And remember this, if you're working in an older version of M3 and want to have a web application, but you don't need to upgrade to the cloud version of M3 right away, we can simply build an MPOW application and it's already cloud ready and future proof. So the day you want to upgrade your system to the cloud, the application will just follow through and work. So the investment will follow you. MPOW is also installed on the M3 server, so you don't need any external hardware or external servers to make it work. MPOW3R replaces outdated technology and it simplifies your solution. An example of this is replacing mashups, replacing scripts or other third-party application that has been built earlier. It's also important to mention that MPOW3R can replace system modification that has been done in the code. You can also, if you're having modified APIs, you can replace the logic and put it directly into the application. And with that said, if you want to go to cloud and sitting in a situation where you want to keep the function that comes from modification, MPOW3R can help you. Here you can see all the pieces of the puzzle. And the puzzle is our solution, our ERP solution. And as you all know, our solution and system are quite big. There are many pieces to fit in to get a great solution that works. Well, MPOW3R simplifies all this. As I mentioned earlier, MPOW3R simplifies the way to develop develop an application, and it also simplifies the workflow in the finished application. How does MPOW3R do this? Well, basically, MPOW3R takes some of the pieces in the puzzle and puts them together to a component. And by doing this, creating components, we can simplify the solution. So it will be easier to develop, easier to work with, and easier to understand. And that's the whole idea. Making it simpler, both developing and working with. MPOW3R is built to be a mobile solution. This is possible because we are using the latest web language. So basically, MPOW3R will work anywhere and anytime on any device. You can use it on a laptop or you can use it on an iPhone or iPad. It doesn't matter. The application will automatically fill the screen as for the screen size. I mentioned it just shortly before. MPOW3R has the possibility to convert old solutions and replace them with a new solution. An example of this is mashups. Many customers are sitting out on a lot of mashups, and MPOW3R can convert them into a new web application that are future-proof. It is possible to create an MPOW3R application that looks the same and feels the same as a mashup, so the user won't even notice the difference almost. Or we can improve the solution and make it better, simpler, and do it in a better way. In my opinion, this is the way to perform an upgrade, improve the solution. But I want you to keep it in mind. Mashups are possible to convert with MPOW3R. So what can MPOW3R do then? Well, the answer to this is as simple as the solution for it. Everything. Thank you for listening. That was a really fast and short notice of what MPOW3R can do. And I hope you enjoy STåle talking about the future planning application that we have already built on for movie. Thank you.